He is my king. He is my one. Yes, he's my father. Yes, he's my son. I can talk to him, cause he understands everything I go through and everything I am. He's my support system. I can't live without him. The best thing since sliced bread is his kiss, his hugs, his lips, his touch. And I just want the whole world to know about my black brother. I love you, and I'll never try to hurt you. I want you to know that I'm here for you forever true. Cause you're my black brother, strong brother, and there is no one above you. I want you to know that I'm here for you forever true. He's misunderstood. Some say that he's up to no good around the neighborhood. Well, for your information, a lot of my brothers got education. Now check it. You got your Wall Street brother, your blue collar brother, you're down for whatever, chilling on the corner brother, your talented brother, and to every one of y'all behind bars, you know that Angie loves you. My black brother, I love you. I'll never try to hurt you. No. I want you to know that I'm here for you forever true. Cause you're my black brother. I'll never hurt you. I want you to know that I'm here for you forever true. Brother, my black brother, strong brother. There is no one. There is no one. I want you to know that I'm here for you forever true. You mean so much to me. You give me what I need. I'm so proud. I said I'm so proud. I love you for staying strong. You got it going now. I'm so proud of you. Going through thick and thin, brothers, you gonna win. I'm so proud of you. I'm so proud of you. Whenever you're facing down, brothers gonna work it out. I'm so proud. I got unshakable faith. You're my black brother. I love you. I'll never try to hurt you. I want you to know that I'm here for you. Cause you're my brother, strong brother. There is no one other. I want you to know that I'm here for you. Only you.
Good morning. Good morning. Good morning, folks. How y'all doing? I hope y'all rested well last night. You're listening to Coffee and Conversation with your boy J Mad on Springer.com, iHeartRadio, Spotify, and all the other platforms that we're on. I don't know if you all checked last night's show out, Life After the Collar. We were at Smokehouse in downtown Atlanta off of Hosea Williams. Had a great show last night. Had a really, really great show last night. I really loved our Wine About It Wednesday session. Our Wine About It Wednesday session. We was able to dive into some conversations that really, I believe, helped some, not I believe, because I've gotten a lot of comments about it, how much they needed to hear that conversation, the topics that we were talking about. One of it was led by a topic that said something about when do men lose their libido. Great topic. One of my Facebook listeners asked that question. I'm glad they asked, because it dove into a lot of other topics that normally aren't addressed, and we had the ability last night to talk about it freely and from both perspectives, female perspective and the male perspective. I think we learned a lot about each other as far as relationships are concerned. I think we learned a lot about it. Who's this? Good morning, Michelle. Good to have you on the show. So I think that was a great topic for Wine Wednesday, Wine About It Wednesday. Loved it, absolutely loved it. Today we're going to talk about a little bit something different. Y'all know on my morning shows, I only do an hour, so get your conversation in early. If it's something that you want me to talk about, address while we're talking, please do so. We only have an hour on our morning shows, all right? I'm drinking roasted almond tea this morning instead of coffee. I'm doing roasted almond tea this morning, and it's actually pretty good. I actually love it. One of my favorite teas, so let's make it do what it do. Holla at your boy. I'll be right back.
Here comes
if I kissed, if I held you tight in the morning light, yeah. Would you mind if I said how I felt in the lead tonight? Again, 'cause I never ever felt this way in my heart before. Oh, love has found its way in my heart tonight. Yeah. Would you mind if I looked in your eyes when I'm hypnotized and I lose my pride? Yeah. Would you mind if I made love to you till I'm satisfied once again? 'Cause I never felt this way in my heart, oh, before. Oh, love found its way in my heart tonight. Once again, 'cause I never ever
Y'all, I promise you, this almond tea is everything. This is some good stuff right here. Anyway, I hope you all are having a good morning. I know that majority of you all are off to work or at work. Most of y'all should be at work. So we do our early morning conversation just to hang out, which is just for a few minutes. Just for a few minutes. And really to try to motivate you to do more, to look at things differently, to expound your mind. This morning I want to follow up on a conversation I think I started, or I ended the show with Tuesday, about being creative. You know, one of the things that they stopped doing in school, or slowed down in doing in the schools, is creativity type of things. When I was in elementary school in Macon, I went to a magnet school, Hunt Magnet School. And we were taught, I was just finna say we were learned. Y'all should have kicked me right off the air if I would have said it. We was taught Spanish, computers that just came on scene, personal computers that just came on scene, and they taught us creative writings. And so we had to write a book, we had to write poetry, we had to write different things like that. And I think that was a huge step into allowing me to be creative with the types of things that I did. When I went to middle school, Appleton Middle School in Macon, I was a part of the drama team there. I remember this one play, it wasn't a play, we did an episode from The Cosby Show. And I played Theo. Was in a band. When I was in high school, I was in the band. We had graphic arts. I was in graphic art school. Graphic art class there. So growing up, creativity was a huge part of my educational upbringing. I feel sorry. What's up, Chuck? Philly, what's going on with you? I feel sorry for this generation that's coming up now, because the lack of them being able to, in a controlled environment. Let me put it that way. In a controlled environment, Jackie, what's going on with you? Where you're taught different things, how to handle yourself, how to do things properly. Now they do still have creative ways of doing it. I was watching an interview with, what's her name? She's my new favorite singer now. Nasiah. I forgot her name. Anyway. And she was saying that she started doing her creative work on YouTube, Instagram, social media sites. And that's how, but there's no responsibility to what they're doing and how they're doing it. That's my only issue with how they're doing it today. They're just throwing out something. And I believe you could tell it in the music that we listen to. Even it's coming down to the movies that we're watching. Pay attention to the movies we're watching. The movies we're watching are now either basic movies that we've seen before, like a plot. It's a plot that you've seen before. You just got different characters. The movie has a different title. Or what are they doing now? They going back and getting some of the other movies. Lion King redone, Aladdin redone, and the list goes on and on and on. Superman, I don't know how many Supermans they're gonna make. Spider-Mans. They're going back and getting some of the old school, because this generation that's out now aren't creative enough. They aren't creative enough. What you said, I was in the way. I said that. I said it the way you wrote it. I don't know what that means. Who said that, Michelle? But our creativity levels have gone down. So I want to ask you a question. What are you doing that's creative, unique to you? What are you doing that's unique to how you're handling things? What are you doing in your life? Like Philly, Chuck. Chuck is a chef. His creativity You so stupid, Philly. So if you know Chuck spent his time, I know he did a lot of his creative learning because he's a chef. He did a lot of his own studying and stuff like that. And the stuff that he creates, I keep going. Chuck, I don't even think that's safe. I don't even think that's safe, Chuck. I may have to mute you. No, go ahead. Chuck has a way of Chuck Taylor. Philly has a way of creating. His creativity comes from his cooking. He makes some amazing food. He really does. But he doesn't stay in a box and create the normal stuff. His last year birthday, oh my God, this dude had a spread that was amazing. It was amazing. The types of dishes. It was majority of the dishes I've never seen before. And we was talking after. He said, "Yeah, I thought about doing it this way, doing this. And the way that food came out was amazing." I don't want my desire, early in this morning, since I did a study the other day, or I was listening to the talk radio. I didn't do a study. I would listen to talk radio the other day, and they was talking about ways to stay creative. And that's one way is always looking for something new to do, or a new way to do it. Don't fall, and I think when you're creative, it's when you are in a space where you are being you. When you're being creative, you are in a space where you are being you. Hey, no problem, man. Hey, Chuck, put your information on how they can reach you for your if they want you to cater. Put that information out too, man. When I am acting, I love to act. When I'm acting, I get to show so many different emotions that I've been through in life. And I could do it through different characters. Even when I'm writing poetry, it's been years since I wrote poetry. And poetry flows through my head all the time. A lot of people don't know that. But poetry flows through my head all the time. I never write it down, though. So we have to learn, as we get older, to don't forget that part of us. Don't forget. I understand that we got mother, father duties. We got husband, wife duties. We have job duties. We have this type of duty. We have these obligations, that obligations. But don't forget You know what? Y'all forget I said anything about Chuck. Forget that I said anything about Philly. Just really? Philly, really. If you're not in the chat room, you'll I'm not gonna even repeat that. I'm not. Don't forget to be you by staying creative. Whatever you do, don't forget to be you by being creative. Holla at your boy. This is Coffee and Conversation with J Man.
It's a life of hustle and survival. I remember when my ninth grade teacher asked me, Lisa, what do you want to be when you grow up? And see, I had to fight the Harlem Crip 30s every day to get home from school, so I looked at her and said, alive. I took an English class. I got a fail in English. And my English teacher said in front of the entire class, Lisa, you have to be the weakest writer I've ever met in my entire life. Don't worry, my story ends good. Don't feel sorry for me. I got 7 under my belt. And then the same year, my speech teacher said, after giving me a D-, I knew I had an A in speech. Like, come on. He obviously didn't agree with me. He gave me a D- and said, quote unquote, Miss Nichols, I recommend you never speak in public, that you get a desk job. So here's the beauty of that story. Other people's perception of you ain't none of your business. Everything you've ever been through, sat through, rose through, cried through, prayed through, everything is a setup for your next best season. And the way you forgive the perceivingly unforgivable, the way you love the perceivingly unlovable, the way you accept what seems to be unacceptable, the way you embrace after you've been betrayed, the way you do that is the way you will lead us. Your light belongs to everyone who'll be illuminated because you were bold enough and obedient enough to let your light shine. Yes, yes? Yes, yes? And every time you cross someone's path and they can't handle your light, you know those people that they try to give you reasons why you should tone it down a bit. That they would tell Cheryl not to sing so loud. Hey. Right. They would tell me to shut up in class. They tell you you're kind of strange. You know those people. Dream snatchers, vision busters. Don't be mad at them. They can only love you to the capacity in which they're able to love themselves. Don't be mad at them. Don't be mad at them. Pray for them. Love them. Because they're dealing with themselves like we're dealing with us. But I want you to remember that your 70 watts has to be turned way up. Because you got way more to give us. It ain't over yet. Don't put a period where God put a comma. And when you turn it up to 159 watts, you know, you keep turning it up. You stop dimming your light. You say, today is the first day of the rest of my life. You turn it up. You're going to find people that can't handle your light. And before today, you might have dimmed your light. You might have shrunk a little bit. You might have tempered it down a little bit. But after today, I want you to see this. After today, turn the lights up. After today, you don't dare dim your light. As your light gets brighter, you're going to disrupt some people, and they're going to tell you your light's too bright, your light's too bright, your light's too bright, your light's too bright. Then you just look at them and say, well, I'm not dimming my light. I'm just going to hand you some shades. Saying, why don't you start carrying around an extra pair of shades?
The
say you're the very meaning of peace. I am a 10,000 petal flower unfolding in this moment. I feel so vulnerable and so empowered. It's everything, it's nothing, it's perfect. Oh, I am moved by you. Oh, I am moved by you. You're the eyes of a child. You're a horse running wild. You're the cracking open of a heart. You make me feel so alive. I am honored to know the twinkle of your star. Oh, I am moved by you. Oh, I am moved by you. Hey, hey, la, la, la. I am moved.
You're listening to Life After... No, this is not Life After the College. You're listening to Coffee and Conversation with your boy J Matt. I stole that song off of YouTube. So I don't know who that was singing. I need Chuck to sit down somewhere. I need Jackie to stop feeding into Chuck's foolishness. I actually thought that was the original version of Moved by You by India.Arie, which is one of my favorite songs. But I just went ahead and let it play since it wasn't the right one. I just went ahead and let it play. No, Chuck is a real good guy. One of the few people in my life that I can call a friend. Chuck is one of the few people in my life I can call a friend. But the lady was saying in the motivational speech she was giving, she's a life coach. She said it comes to a point where we have to, instead of dimming our light, in other words, instead of continuing to be creative in the things that we being all of you, let all of your light shine. Let every bit of your light shine. Instead of, yes, that was India.Arie. Instead of minimizing who you are, as the poem from it's called Our Greatest Fear. Instead of minimizing yourself so that the other people around us can feel good about themselves, it's time to learn how to carry shades. Here you go. Here you use some shades. I'm not dimming myself, but if you want to look in my direction, here's some shades. In other words, man up, woman up, and be who you supposed to be. Because I'm no longer in a space and time for me, for Jason, to run around and try to please people. There are things about me that people will not like, period. They're just not going to like it. There are things about me that people are absolutely going to love. But I'm not going to change myself. I'm not going to take away things that makes me uniquely me to please people. For years, I found myself doing that. I had to be this to one person. I had to be that to another person. And I had to learn to take all of me and just be me. And it's only been recently that I've learned to just enjoy Jason. Some years ago, maybe about 3 years ago, I was asked a question. When are you going to show Jason? And at first it confused me. At first it really did confuse me. I was trying to figure out, what do you mean? When am I going to show Jason? And she told me, she said, you're so busy trying to be everything to everybody that you're not you. Really? Really, Chuck? And it was at that point, it was some days later that same conversation kept going through my head over and over. And I was like, you're right. And I saw how I was to this person. And I went back years. And now I'm like this. And I posted a statement on my Facebook page. And a lot of people didn't know how to take it. I can be your biggest curse or your biggest blessing. Allowing me in your life can be a biggest curse or biggest blessing. You have to choose. In other words, you could take me as I am. And understand that I don't approach anybody as if I'm perfect. And I'll be a blessing in your life. You'll find out that I have a huge heart. But if you try to change me, or don't get what I'm supposed to give to you, it's gonna be a long day. It's gonna be a long day. So that's what we have to be as individuals. A place where you are being all of you, not just some of you. And when one person walk in the room, you're this way to that person. When another person walk in the room, you're this way to this way. When another person walk in, you're this way. But when you can stand flat-footed in the room and just be you, all of you, all the good, all the bad, all the ugly, stand flat-footed in the room and be you. That's why with my shows, are there some things I probably need to do better with? Yes, hands down. But when I do what I do, I do what I'm doing. I don't have an issue. I don't have a problem. If God whispers in my ear, because there are some things that I want to say that God stops me from saying, or in the manner I want to say it. Really? Philly? But that's life. That's life. We all have to be in a place and time where we learn to be all of us. When we learn to just be who you are. And life becomes this. Life becomes so easy. Life becomes so stress-free. The stuff that I went through last week, I could have been totally upset about. But it didn't bother me. Don't think I said, hey, you got to do what you got to do to correct what needs to be corrected. No headaches, no problems. Did what I needed to do. Life became easy. It became real easy. You listen to Coffee and Conversation with your boy J-Man. Holla at your boy.
That's why I'm easy. I'm easy like Sunday morning. Why in the world would anybody put chains on me? I paid my dues to make it. Everybody wants me to be what they want me to be. I'm not happy when I try to fake it. No. Ooh, that's why I'm easy. I'm easy like Sunday morning. I wanna be high, so high. I wanna be free to know the things I do are right. I wanna be free, just me, oh man. That's why I'm easy. I'm easy like Sunday morning. Yeah. That's why I'm easy. I'm easy like Sunday morning. Whoa. 'Cause I'm easy. Woo. Easy like Sunday morning. Yeah. 'Cause I'm easy.
You're listening to your boy J-Man, Coffee and Conversation. That's our morning show. Chuck, you're right. One thing I can tell you about Chuck is not going to... Philly. I don't know where this Chuck stuff is coming from. Anyway, Philly, ever since I've known Philly, and one of the reasons why I gravitated towards Philly when we met is because I saw that he was real. If he's going to say it behind your back or to somebody else, you best believe it that he's already said it to your face, or he will come to you and say it. That's the type of person you have to be in this life. I'm not going to sit and run around and act fake anymore. I did it for years. All I can do is talk about me. I did it for years in relationships. I had one relationship where I had to be funny all the time, because if I got serious, then something was wrong. Or I was in another relationship where I had to be serious all the time. And when I started being funny and acting silly, you acting childish. And I learned, and I had to basically have split personalities with folks. But now you get what you get. No ifs, no ands, no buts about it. You get what you get. I'm going to say it like I need to say it. Understanding already it's going to hurt your feelings that if you listen to it wrong, if you perceive it wrong. I'm very direct now. It is what it is. Y'all, thank y'all so much for hanging out with me on Coffee and Conversation. It definitely have been a honor of mine to hang out with y'all. Philly, go back to bed or go to work. Go do something. Appreciate Jackie. Thank you for joining. Michelle, Philly, Erica, thank y'all so much for joining me today. I do appreciate you all. I really, really do appreciate you all. Y'all make sure y'all have a good day, and I will definitely do the same. Holla at your boy. It's all good. It's all great.
Everybody around seems